And is this teen a terrorist? He says he was pushed to the edge by bullies and finally snapped. Now he's facing terrorism charges. He speaks out for the first time only on GMA.
Yesterday, we told you about a South Carolina teen turned in by his parents in fear that he was plotting an attack on his school. Well, today, news out of Arizona, a question of crime and punishment, and Juju Chang brings us a story.
Well, Diane, like that case in South Carolina, Brent Clark's parents also helped him turn himself into police, thinking he would get counseling. Instead, their son is being charged with terrorism. But is Brent a criminal, or was he a boy crying out for help? I sat down for an emotional conversation with him. Brent Clark is fighting for his future.
I hope that he has a chance. He's not the person he's been made out to be.
A bit of a loner, the 7th grader is a leader in the Boy Scouts and spent years as a young Marine. But kids in school made fun of that. He says he was bullied. How did the bullying affect your life?
It was torment. It basically just made me feel very angry.
Brent claims one classmate in particular taunted him relentlessly. He says he only told his teacher once, but the school says their guidance counselor has no record of it. Brent says after 9 months of bullying, he snapped. Last March, he took a 4-inch switchblade to school. How did you plot your revenge?
I grabbed a knife and I was gonna take him. I was gonna stab him.
But Brent says the bully wasn't there that day, so he took it out on someone else instead. Police say Brent followed a 14-year-old girl from his Spanish class home to her apartment complex, where he pulled her behind that wall, held a knife to her throat, and said, "If you don't do as I say, I'm gonna kill you."
I grabbed her, put a knife to her throat, and upon that, a couple seconds or maybe even a minute later, I let her go and ran home.
Did you mean to hurt her?
Probably not.
The terrified girl told police and school officials. Brent's parents found him at home in front of the TV, wearing camouflage pants, military boots, and a backpack at his feet.
He was empty, nothing in his eyes that we recognized, and that was a little frightening.
His backpack contained a loaded handgun, 3 knives, 2 rolls of duct tape, and beside him on the couch, a black ski mask and rope. Hoping to get psychological help for their son, Brent's own parents helped turn him in. When the police questioned Brent, he said he was going to take his class hostage and wait for police, then come out shooting so the police would just shoot him and end it.
I think somewhere subconsciously he was trying to get either my or Dad's attention and say, look, it's serious. You need to, open up your eyes and help me.
Brent says he never threatened the school, but he spent 8 months in juvenile jail, where he says he was repeatedly harassed and beaten. Brent is now out on bail and under house arrest. Barely 14 at the time, he's facing adult felony charges, including terrorism for the backpack. But his attorney says thinking about a crime is not a crime.
No, honestly, I think nothing that occurred at the house should have been charged at all. You can collect it as evidence, but it's not a crime.
His parents agree Brent needs to be punished. He's been suspended for disciplinary problems before, but they want a juvenile sentence because an adult felony could ruin his life.
We're not saying that he should walk away from the situation. All the things he's worked for all of his life, is it really going to do society any good to throw those things out the window and turn him into a criminal? Because that's what prison's going to do to him.
I think he's a smart kid, bright kid. He likes what he's doing. He does good in school. And he had a plan.
Brent's parents say they still want counseling for their son, who's been forbidden to talk to the girl he victimized. If you could talk to her right now, what would you say?
I'm sorry for everything I put you through, and if I could turn back the clock, I would. Because I hurt someone who didn't need to be, and she was innocent. She didn't deserve any of it.
Brent has a week to enter a plea. He faces a minimum of 2 years in an adult penitentiary. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office said that the case is serious. The charges against the defendant are serious, and the defendant's actions allegedly posed a serious threat to the school.
But no counseling yet.
Not yet, and the parents are hopeful that he can get some.
All right, thanks, Juju.